Yep.
I'm doing it now.
We're like 3 minutes into this, dude.
Welcome to Frolic Harder, and welcome to Death by Ants. Air horn.
Air horn. Why not?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you?
exactly. Welcome, everyone. My name is Matt, still the host. Brennan is here, our resident movie critic. This didn't used to be a movie podcast, but it is now. And always...
Hey, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah, I know. And as always, we are joined by Producer Moo.
I love the shirt.
The Moo is.
I really love the shirt.
I'm almost disappointed he didn't wear like his uniform. You got to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing, Jonathan. Sorry. Yep. I was drinking my drink and I didn't want you guys to hear the guzzle.
Slurp, slurp.
We want to hear the guzzle.
That's right.
Okay. Then I'll Google next time. Oh,
nice. How do you those?
That's the liquid poopies.
You know how it is. That's right. So you know what we're getting into today.
Well, before you go scorched earth. I want to say, I wanted to apologize if I have ever rud you the wrong way. I have a surprise game for us.
Oh, there's a game today? Wow.
Let's do that right off the bat.
Is this let's do this.
So, I have a Paul Rudd themed game, and this is how it's going to work. I have Paul Rudd multiple choice trivia questions, or they're mostly multiple choice. But here's where it gets a little interesting. You have the option beginning. You can either answer your Paul Rudd trivia question for a point, or you can choose to answer an ant-related trivia question for those points.
Ooh.
That's right off the bat. And then, so you have another option. You can then also hear the Paul Rudd question. And if you don't like it, you can go over to the ant question for a single point.
Okay.
All right.
So
Brennan is filled with the most rage. So you will get to go first.
Gotta let it out.
And I just want to remind everyone, this series, this heated battle between good and evil is tied 1-1. Or no, I lied. Producer Moo is still in the lead with a 1-0-1 record. Brennan sits at 0-1-1.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
We can remember Jeff Goldblum movies.
I know who else I don't have a really good repertoire of. Paul Rudd. So let's go.
Here we go. So let's Rudd you the wrong way. All right. Would you like the Paul Rudd question or an ant question?
Who's going first?
You.
Paul Rudd.
All right, Paul Rudd. Question number 1. These are from funtrivia.com.
Okay.
Where did Paul Rudd attend college? Is it A, UCLA, B, New Jersey University, C, Boston U, or D, the University of Kansas?
I'm going to go with the University of Kansas.
That would be correct, sir.
Yeah, I know. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so that's like, let's go with that.
I didn't even know that.
He was like at the Super Bowl and everything.
He was. All right, Producer Moo. Rudd or ants?
Ants, please.
Ants, please. You got it. All right. These are from usefultrivia.com. Ant question 1. How many species of ants are there? Is it A, 44,000, B, 11,000, C, 22,000, or D, 33,000?
I don't know if I would have had a better chance at the other one.
I'm so glad I went Paul Rudd.
How'd you go A? Is it like 44?
A, 44. That is incorrect. The answer was C, 22,000.
I was
there
close.
Are 22,000 species of ants in the world.
That's going to be like one of the largest range of any species on Earth, right? Ants?
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, I don't. I would be curious what like differentiates the species. Like, is it boundaries and like? Yeah, whatever.
Do you guys have a favorite ant in pop culture?
Oh,
Like
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man or Antony from the big ant from
I don't
Honey,
know
I
what they're
Shrunk the
called, but
Kids?
they're like the giant ones in Africa. Those are my favorite ants. I don't know. They're like huge.
The giant African ants. Let's go with that.
Maybe I don't know. There's like these giant ants. They look like ants, but like really big ants.
I can't wait till he puts a little video in of some giant
Plus, there's
ants.
like flying
being a
ants
human.
too, right? Oh, what about like? No, never mind. I was gonna say, nope, I'm gone. Move on.
Saving it.
Yep.
All right, Brennan. Rudd or ants?
Let's go Rudd.
Let's go Rudd. All right. Here we go. In 1992, Paul Rudd landed a role in what popular television show?
It's Friends.
I remember that.
In a multiple choice, Friends was actually not any of the choices.
But he wasn't Friends. So
he was in Friends.
Right.
But he was in Friends, yes. So you got that one wrong.
I'll allow it.
All right, back to Producer Moo. Rudd or ants?
Let's just roll with the ants.
Let's roll with the ants. All right. How big is the largest known?
What was the answer? What was the answer for number 3? Now I have to know.
It wasn't Friends. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it.
It's a show called Sisters.
I would have got that anyway.
Sisters?
Not sister.
Oh,
just one sisters. Yeah, I don't know. One of the options was Scott Bakula's Quantum Leap, which is what I would have guessed because that is an amazing show.
It is. Also, I would have preferred not knowing. Now that we know what the answer is,
that's good.
Yeah.
It ain't your show. Move on.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I had to know.
All right. How big is the? How big is the largest known ant colony? Is it A, 3,700 miles, B, 370 miles, C, 3.7 miles, or D, 37 miles?
37 miles.
That is incorrect. It is actually 3,700 miles.
I was thinking that, but that sounds absurd.
Right. What are these ants doing?
That's literally the size of the United States from east to west coast. Like,
let me compare. This ant colony stretches from northern Italy, to the south of France, and then from there to the Atlantic coast of Spain.
How is that a colony, though, if it spans countries?
How have they measured this?
Like, that's an ant country. There's multiple different ant countries.
Well, this is an ant colony, though. They don't follow the rules of man.
I guess not. Man. How does that even?
They follow ant law.
Yeah,
is there just one queen? How does that work?
Yeah. So these are Argentine ants that were introduced to Europe in the 1920s, and this is their handiwork.
Where'd they come from? Argentina.
Mm.
A very astute name.
The Argentine ants. Where'd they come from? Argentina.
All right, we're still at Brennan 1.
Yeah.
Producer Moo 0.
I like these ants ones. I'm learning something.
All right. Rudd or ants?
I'm going to go Rudd, and this time I will hear the question.
All right, here we go. In 1995, Paul had a role in what horror series? Was it A, Halloween, B, Friday the 13th, C, Nightmare on Elm Street, or D, Child's Play?
Horror is probably like my weakest genre of knowledge, so
for sure.
I'm going to go with D.
D, Child's Play. That is incorrect. It was A, Halloween. He was in the Halloween series.
Yeah. You got me at my weak spot.
Yeah,
I wonder when he died. Or was he just like a background dude?
Oh, he probably died. If I had to guess.
That's cool. I got to go back and watch
Put that in right now.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is.
And there. That was cool, huh?
Yeah, bad.
He died, right?
As far as I know.
Probably.
Yeah, okay. All right, Producer Moo, rudder ants.
Sticking with that ants.
Oh, I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
get one of these, and I'm
I
going to use that. I'm
love
gonna
it,
learn
right?
something.
All right, here we go. Ants hear with their A, abdomen, B, antennas, C, their knees, or D, their thorax.
That's such a weird question. I feel like I want to say antenna, but I'm just gonna say thorax, just
D,
because.
thorax is incorrect. The correct answer is C, their knees. So
I was going to make a
they,
joke about it. It's going to be their knees, right? Of course it is.
Wobbly
They-
little knees.
they hear by feeling the vibrations with special
Oh.
sensors right below their kneecaps
So they
called
feel.
subgenual organs.
So they feel.
I guess, yeah. I guess they feel. They're in touch with their feelings.
Interesting.
That's very neat.
Ant shit.
Yeah,
I
stuff.
honestly thought it was gonna be the abdomen for some reason.
The antennas
too.
would have made like the most sense to me, but yeah, of course.
That's what makes
Yeah.
sense.
I didn't do great on this quiz when I
I like
took it to get the answers.
I like this. I've now learned 3 new things about ants.
Rudder ants.
I'm gonna go stick with red. We're gonna split this down the middle. Yeah, I feel like I've got a better shot at getting one of these.
I probably did too. But
All right. Let's see here. In 1996, Paul had a small role alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in which movie? Is it A, Romeo and Juliet, B, The Rainmaker, C, Titanic, or D, The Man in the Iron Mask?
the last one was good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Romeo and Juliet.
Damn it.
That, sir, is correct.
That's the only question I've known so far.
That is a 2-0 score now.
And that movie was bombed by the Romeo and Juliet that they were in.
John Leguizamo.
As the Rat King or whatever.
That's right.
Prince.
All right. I assume you're sticking with ants.
Yes, please.
All right. Let's see if you can tie this one up. How many stomachs do ants have?
Oh no.
A1, B2, C4, or D3?
I'm gonna go at C4 just for the implications.
All right. That would be incorrect. They have 2 stomachs. One for themselves and one for
the homies,
other ants to share. Yeah, it's their friendship stomach. So apparently they.
Oh, do they bring it back to the?
They smooches, and they just share.
They baby bird it.
Yeah, you're my friend. Here, have a bite to eat.
The next time I go to Korean barbecue, I'm just going to put some extra weight in my friendship stomach, and that's going to be my excuse.
Ants are some interesting little dudes.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. I get the way this is going. All right.
You shouldn't have given me this option.
It's fine though. This makes it. If you get one right, you're right back in this game.
That's true. I'm taking.
I thought he's up
road.
2. I thought he's like 2-0 right now.
It is 2-0. Yeah, but the ant questions are worth 2 points.
Oh, that's true. Good.
All right, here we go.
I got to take a 2-score lead right now.
Paul Rudd's breakthrough role was in the movie Clueless. What was the name of his character? Was it A, Christian Stovitz, B, Matt Horowitz, C, Elton Tissia, or D, Josh Lucas?
It's such a 90s sounding name. I'm going with D.
I feel like it's C.
D is correct. His name was
Yes!
Josh Lucas.
That sounded like such a 90s name, and I have never watched Clueless, so.
Really? That's a great jerk on that. That's a good show.
Oh, you should. It's got Donald Faison, and he looks exactly the same as he does now.
That's because he hasn't aged. He's got whatever
Paul Rudd has.
He's got whatever Paul Rudd and Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen have. They maxed out. That's it.
How does
you were in this movie
look? Maybe it was the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
if you were in this movie, you live forever.
Apparently.
That's the real fountain of youth.
It is. All right.
Throw me some ant facts.
Ant facts.
I need 2 to. I don't even know if there's 2 left.
I got enough.
Okay.
I got enough for a comeback. All right, here we go. What is the strongest ant? Is it A, the army ant, B, the leaf cutter, C, the carpenter ant, or D, the bull ant?
Oh, see, I was just gonna go straight carpenter, but I don't remember the bull ant, and that sounds strong. But I feel like I'm assuming it's relative to size. I think the carpenter ant.
It is not the carpenter ant. It is the leaf cutter, which can lift 50 times its own body weight with its jaws.
It was relative to size. That's amazing. Ants are crazy.
On to question numero 6. True or false? Paul was nominated for a Golden Globe for the movie The Cider House Rules.
I forgot he was in that movie.
True.
That is false.
Oh,
has he ever been nominated for anything?
I don't know. Probably. He's Paul Rudd.
He's Paul Rudd.
He's always like a supporting dude. He's barely he's never like the lead.
Have you seen Ant-Man before?
What? Not in a Golden Globe or like Academy Award type nominating thing.
Have you seen Clueless before?
Hey, we don't need to go back there.
The
okay.
Same sentiment stands.
Fair.
All right. You're still in this. You're still in this.
I have faith that I'm going to totally lose this, but I know I can come back.
What happens after a queen ant mates? Is it A, starts a colony? B, never mates again? C, her wings fall off? Or D, all of the above?
Never mates again. Aren't they like producing eggs all the time? I feel like all of the above since you threw it out there.
You, sir, are back in the game. It is all of the above.
Very nice. I didn't know any of that.
Dislike?
So
you could have gone this route.
So in the little additional info, you're thinking about the always producing and mating. So apparently they're able to just like store sperm. They just have it.
Bank it.
It's just banked. It's
so
ready to go.
One time and they just are good to go.
They have their own sperm banks.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
We're learning so much.
I got some little brain nuggets to keep the kid.
Tell someone this tomorrow, John.
I'll probably tell my wife before bed.
If you go to the park with the kid, just like find another parent.
Did you know ants have spunk banks?
Should have just keep it all on board after the one time.
All right, Brennan, see if you can build yourself some cushion here. All right, here we go. In 1997, Paul acted alongside one of the world's favorite friends. What was the movie? Was it A, Overnight Delivery? B, 200 Cigarettes? C, The Object of My Affection? Or D, Wet Hot American Summer?
I only know one of those movies.
I'm going to go with Overnight Delivery.
That would be incorrect. The answer was C, The Object of My Affection.
Okay, I would have got it wrong with my backup anyway.
I was going to say that Wet Hot American Summer is the only one I've heard of.
Yeah, same.
This is a good thing I'm going with ant questions.
All right, here he goes to take the lead. How many naps do fire ants take each day? A, 25, B, 250, C, 10, or D, 100?
250? How does that... They just like wake up,
just fall asleep, and then just immediately shock yourself back awake. Like, that was a great
I guess
nap.
the question is, do they actually sleep, or do they just always nap? I would go with 250 because the most absurd things seem to be the right one.
Producer Moo, you are in the lead.
I hate this game.
Ants are absurd.
So, fire ants don't follow a normal sleep cycle.
That's what
and instead, they take 250 tiny naps that are all about a minute long.
Man. Imagine being able to recharge your batteries in a minute.
Well, I mean, if they're doing it 250 times a day, they only have to do it every like 10, 15 minutes. But they're tiny little guys, move around all fast. All
right. We're down to our last few questions. Brennan.
I know.
Rudd?
Yep.
I like your conviction here.
You could go for the steal. I feel like if you went Rudd, I'd be forced Rudd.
You got a good shot at this one.
Okay.
Yes or no? Does Paul have any siblings?
Yeah, you get these true false stuff.
Yes.
He
True.
does. We're all
Yeah.
tied up.
Yeah, see, yes or no? Are they small?
All right, here we go.
Let's do this.
Producer Moo.
Dun-dun-dun.
How old was the oldest living ant in captivity? A, 28 years. B, 14 years. C, 21 years. Or D, 7 years.
28 years.
28 years is correct.
Yes.
Back in the lead.
Answer's so absurd, dude.
Imagine having like an
I was
ant
literally.
just linger for 28 years. Like, no.
I don't even know what would it do for 28 years.
Be exceptionally bored. Was he
Yeah,
like
'cause-
solo? Was it just the one ant by
I was
itself?
gonna say, aren't they usually like specialized? Like, wouldn't he be like upset not having the rest of his colony?
Right.
I don't know, but
Die of ant depression,
yeah.
loneliness, broken heart. Okay, how many questions do we have left?
Okay.
Because I need to know what I need to go with an ant question to give myself a chance here.
There's 2 questions left. So there's
Okay.
2 red questions. And I have 2
Good.
ant questions. So
You basically need to steal.
I'm going with an ant question here.
you're going with an ant question. Okay, here we go.
Have to.
What did ants evolve from? Was it A, wasps? Wasps.
That's a hard word.
It is. I hate that.
Yeah.
And I hate wasps.
Wasps.
B, B, termites. C, scramps.
The fuck
Or
is this?
D, aphids.
I'm gonna go with them scramps.
That would be incorrect. The answer was wasps.
Wasps. They have similar legs.
Right, but I don't know.
No,
It's a weird one.
I could only see it with like the really, really big ants, like those African ones I was talking about.
Because they
I
got
don't
like
even know
those
if they
little
are
tiny,
African.
tiny shrimps too, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
maybe they just got legs and wandered up on land.
The ones that come in the ramen noodles.
Right.
Yeah,
What's that about?
that's just
I don't know.
protein.
I like those though.
It's like you're eating ants.
Kind of.
Hey,
All
there's like 2 grams of protein in those ramen noodles, but there's 0 actual meat in there.
They're real
Gotta come
good,
from
though.
somewhere. They are
They're
real good. And
All
cheap.
right, Moo. Do you want the last ant question?
Yeah, I gotta either secure. I got. Well, no.
Then I'll be mathematically eliminated.
I want to play fairly and give Brennan a fighting chance. So
Wow.
let's do a red question, please.
Ooh, gentleman.
Interesting.
All right, a red question here.
We'd be or no, actually, he'd be in the lead, but it's okay. I'll let it slide.
All right. This is just how it landed, so I apologize. In 2002, Paul landed a recurring role on what popular television show? Was it A, Scrubs, B, Friends, C, Will and Grace, or D, the greatest show of all time, Frasier?
Was this the Friends one? I feel like it is because of that, but we'll go Friends because I don't remember.
It is Friends.
Yes.
It is
Thanks, Brennan.
Friends. All right,
Yep.
Brennan.
I would have totally said Scrubs too.
Isn't
even though
it by
I
3
don't
now?
remember him being on Scrubs.
He's only up by 2.
Hmm.
So you need this to tie.
Is
And then I didn't come with a tiebreaker. So I guess
we just have another tie. We tied
let's
last
have
game.
another IMDb off.
Here we go.
It'd be
All
soccer
right.
again.
To tie it up. What is the only continent with no ants? Is it A, Asia, B, Australia, C, Antarctica, or D, Europe?
Antarctica.
It is Antarctica.
It's just like all ice.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Tied again. You guys are equals.
I could have totally ruined that too.
Equals.
Absolutely could have. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm pulling up
Oh, geez.
Internet
Now I'm
movie
going to lose just
database.
because
Paul.
I know less about Paul Rudd than I know about, what was the last dude?
Like with Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have fancy hats.
Here we Yeah.
You guys are fake. We
Trying to get a sponsorship here.
do. Right.
Lids.
Ebbsfield flannels. Let's go.
You guys, I'll flash
And I'm
them.
wearing a flannel. Yeah, works.
See? It all
It all full circle, man. It all came together.
it's like a
Like
ponytail going in a ponytail.
It's like a pony. It's like a pony hole. Yeah.
I want a flannel.
All right, so we'll let Producer Moo is gentlemanly. We'll let him go first on this one.
That's fair.
All right.
What are we
A
doing?
Paul Rudd movie.
Oh, Ant-Man.
Could you be more specific?
It won.
Okay.
I mean, Ant-Man was the name of the movie. To be fair,
Original recipe. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, the original recipe.
The other ones have
All
like
right.
longer titles, I think.
They do. They do indeed. All right, over to you, Brennan.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
Well done.
Ooh.
Yeah,
One.
going right for that one right now.
Ant-Man and the Wasp one. Is that 2?
That is number 2. Over to Brennan.
Are we only doing movies?
We can do TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm okay
we
with
had
that.
to do Jeff Goldblum only movies because I didn't get
Okay.
his commercial. I don't really care.
Oh,
do his
yeah.
TV shows.
Movies or TV shows included?
Go movies.
Judges.
Make this
Okay,
fair.
movie. Okay. I love you, man.
That's another one.
Oh yeah.
2-2.
Clueless.
There we go. Over to Brennan.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, that was a good one.
3-3.
Was it Halloween?
Hold on. I got to see which one, though.
Oh, it's got to be like Halloween 1 or one of the weird like sub ones of it.
Oh, my God.
Oh no,
been
Halloween
doing this.
H2O.
He's been doing this too long.
He's old. He's been around for a long time, but he
This is
doesn't do big roles.
Just insane. All right.
Please tell me it was Halloween H2O.
It was not Halloween H2O.
Ah, sad face.
It was Halloween, The Curse of Michael,
Oh, so
and
it
he's
is a weird
credited
sub one.
as Paul Stephen Rudd. All right, Brennan.
Wait, so he played himself?
No. His
Oh,
character
that's
name
just
was
these characters.
Tommy Doyle.
Gotcha.
So I
Or
just need
Doyle.
literally any movie.
It's just one movie.
Any
Which-
movie.
Probably
Captain America: Civil War.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
There it is.
he's basically in
And
all the Avenger
there-
movies.
It is.
Good job, Brennan.
Do you hear the kids cheering? There's not.
Yeah,
I can't hear them on
This-
my side.
I still
heard the
feel
package
like
being
this
on
was a
your side.
charitable win, but you know.
Hey man, a win's a win.
So
Gracious in victory.
are we both 1-1-1 now?
I beat
You are
you in the
both-
first game.
Yep.
1-1
You're
and
both
1.
1-1-1. Or technically, you can both be 1-2-1 because Bruce kicked the shit out of both of you.
That's
Yeah,
also very true. But
This is
to
probably
be
just gonna
fair,
be reigning champ.
that was not a fair fight. He brought guns to a knife fight.
I really thought it was going to be a fair fight. I apologize.
Not even close. Not even a little
I
bit.
apologize.
Bruce,
We
All
got
right,
set
so-
up. We got bamboozled. We went
That's
down the
all right.
wrong alleyway. He jumped us. However you want to call it.
it's one of the best ass beatings I've ever gotten. So
Definitely.
You guys were Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Yeah.
And
just dying in an alleyway.
they didn't even see it coming. Just done.
all right,
Yeah.
so now that the the fun times were had, there was joy coming from Brennan on his first victory. All that is about to be wiped away, and
Let's get ready to rumble!
all right, you saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania,
I did.
and you basically called upon an emergency episode.
I did, and I don't usually do that. That's not my style. That's your style. That's
That is my style.
I needed to rage pod.
But look, as a parent, as a father,
There we go. Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, find the right word. Say the F word.
yeah, say the effort. I don't do that anymore. It's beneath me.
Okay, it's uncouth. So, as a father, go on.
I only have one question. What's the movie? Tell me about the movie. What's it about?
Oh, it's just trash. It's just like they piled trash into a trash can, took the trash can to the curb, trash truck came, picked it up, took it to the dump, and they incinerated it. That's how I would describe the movie. It was, for all intents and purposes, the worst MCU movie I have ever seen. And I hated Eternals. Like, I thought that was garbage. And then I saw this. And the entire movie...
Wait, you saw Black Widow?
Yeah, I did. And it's worse. It's so much worse.
It's
the entire movie is just one big vomit of color filler. That's it. It's very colorful. Apparently the quantum realm was built on rainbows and unicorns, but man, this movie is bad. So, and I wanted to like it. I wanted to. I love the MCU. Big Marvel fan. But I just got like donkey punched in the nuts after watching that. Like I legit started falling asleep at one point, and my wife had to shake me up. Like it was bad. So here's who's in the movie. All right. So we got Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Ant-Man's coming back. Evangeline Lilly coming in as Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp. We got Jonathan Majors playing Kang the Conqueror. We have Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang, so Paul Rudd's daughter in the movie. David Dashmalshan, I guess. I don't know if I probably butchered that, but he's Veb. He's like a slime-like creature that I'll touch on.
What?
Yeah, he's like a slimy jello creature.
Is he like Ronald McDonald from the Orville?
No, it's so much worse.
Like Seth Rogen in that monster movie?
No, he's like, think of like if the Kool-Aid Man was shaped like a bong and had arms and legs.
Yeah.
But he like...
Wait, like a bong?
No,
like a bong.
you got to drink
Kool-Aid
the
Man is a
juice that
monster
comes
bong,
out of him
though.
to speak the same language as everybody else in the quantum realm. That's what level of dumb this is going to. So that's literally...
Where do they drink the juice from?
You don't want to know, man.
The top of the bong.
Just squirts it into you.
Wait, hold on.
You just drink it as juice.
No, you're not getting by this one that quick.
It's really how
Explain.
it works. I
What do
did.
you mean you drink the juice from him? Where are you drinking the juice from?
I thought it was the bong. Are we doing it on the carb?
I'm telling you, dude, he just squirts some juice out of his body and you drink it. And
He's
that's like,
his goo, dude?
it's like, man, this is what level of dumb I'm talking about right here. Okay. So you have to drink this red jelly dude's juice that comes out of him so you can understand and speak to the rest of the quantum realm creatures. Because when they first go into the quantum realm, it just sounds like a bunch of alien talk. And he's like, hands him this
dude's goo
stuff.
is a
and he
universal
puts the
translator.
goo in there. Yeah, exactly. So his goo is the universal translator. So
Star Trek goo.
I can't, man.
This is amazing.
So-
This sounds like a great movie.
Man, this is why now you understand. So we've got Katie O'Brien coming in as Gentora. She's like a freedom fighter. Basically, she's the rebels, the equivalent of what the rebels are in the Star Wars universe. So she's the leader of that. William Jackson Harper is Quaz. So he's a telepath, and he can just basically read everybody's thoughts. Bill Murray is Lord Krylar. He is in the movie for all of just a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's Bill
never
Murray.
mind.
Why
Yeah.
would he be in there any more than a
He's
couple minutes?
busy.
Yeah,
He's got stuff to do.
He's got Groundhog's Day 2.
Michelle Pfeiffer is Janet Van Dyne. So yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer still looks like the same.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
She maxed out too.
She must have been in Clueless.
She must have been somewhere in Clueless. Yeah, we've got Corey Stoll coming in back as Darren Cross / MODOK. He is MODOK. So if you watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, Yellow Jacket, when they sent him back to the quantum realm at the end of the movie, he became...
Oh, we forgot something important.
Nah, don't worry about it.
We did?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
supposed to say spoilers. Maybe.
Yeah, there's about to be so many spoilers.
We
You
can
probably-
we can edit something back in. We'll be good.
Nah, they're getting
Nah.
it now.
Fair.
I'll put it in
Okay.
the description.
Has there even been
Spoiler
an actual
alert.
spoiler yet? Yeah.
Well, I mean, just literally me telling you that Yellow
Yeah, we haven't
Jacket
gotten
has
to the
been sent to the
synopsis
quantum realm as
we did have a really good conversation about goo.
Yeah,
We
he
did.
did tell us a lot about goo.
so spoilers. So Yellow Jacket gets sent to the quantum realm and becomes MODOK, and the CGI for MODOK is so bad. So they took Corey Stoll's face and just like stretched it out in Photoshop and shoved it into a MODOK body.
Did they do like a montage of him becoming MODOK?
No. Well, kind of. Yeah, you saw like a little butt being scooped up by this like I'm not even. He's got like baby legs with a little butt. Think of like what Deadpool looked like when he had the little, like Deadpool. They straight up like Deadpool butted him in there, and so the way that they did the CGI for him, they did it so dirty. It was like, you guys ever played GoldenEye when you were kids on the N64?
Yeah, the DK mode.
DK mode is exactly what it reminded me. I mean, the second it was revealed like who MODOK was, I laughed out loud just because of how bad the CGI was. I literally almost spit my drink out. It was so horrible. So we'll move it on. MODOK was terrible. It was hot, spicy trash. So
the commercials, you vaguely see that amazing CG.
Yes. So for those people that don't know what MODOK is, it's a mechanized organism designed only to kill. So
and it looks like this. That's where you.
Yeah. So now you know what he looks like. And then Michael Douglas comes back as Hank Pym. So that's basically the main cast of the movie. So the movie starts out kind of with nothing. The first 15 minutes of the movie gave nothing to the movie. So this is like a 2-hour movie, and you shot 15 minutes of it of Cassie, who's Scott's daughter, has landed herself in jail. And it's because she was participating in a protest, and she used a Pym particle to shrink a cop car and steal the cop car. So,
that's dope.
Right. Awesome. So that's literally, it gives nothing to the movie. So Scott Lang's got to go pick her up, and he bails her out, and the security guards are like, give it back. And she's like, give what back? I don't have it. And they're like, you know what you did? So she puts this little tiny cop car back on the counter and gives them their cop car back. That's all that big. It's like a little Hot Wheels car. So
Micro Machines?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember Micro Machines, Producer Moo?
Sounds familiar, but not off the top of my head, no.
Oh, yeah.
They look like this.
All right. Very yeah, I kind of remember those.
Yeah. So it basically starts out like Scott Lang is now, he's just a writer. He's written a book, and the reason that I'm bringing up the book is because the book is real. So you can actually go buy this book. It is called Look Out for the Little Guy. It is literally on Amazon. You could buy it, and it is they've got a hardcover and a Kindle version.
How much?
So it's on sale right now for $18.26. So it's called Look Out for the Little Guy by Scott Lang. So it's Paul Rudd's character in the movie. It is a real book you can buy. So he starts out like he's not really an active hero, quote unquote, anymore. He's just kind of living his life as this writer who wrote this book about all the things that happened to him as an Avenger and Ant-Man. He just goes to like book signings, and he's kind of just a bum. He walks around and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, Ant-Man," on the streets, and that's kind of where he's living at. So this whole start of the movie with like Cassie going to jail gives nothing to the movie. There's no reason we had to spend time going to jail, bailing her out.
Like introducing the daughter, not falling far from the tree, the apple, because that's how we were introduced to Scott.
I mean, you can, I guess, make that connection, but it was a totally useless plot point in the movie. We didn't use it at all. They reference more towards like in the movie, like when they're fighting, like father, like daughter kind of thing, because she's got her own Ant-Man suit now too. So gave nothing to the movie. Total trash. Wasted 15 minutes of airtime there. So then they start to, the movie's unraveling. She made this like beacon that sends a signal down to the quantum realm. And there's like some hemming and hawing about whether they should turn it on or off, and she turns it on. Things go awry. They get all sucked in. Boom, quantum realm.
Why is she doing a beacon?
Science project. Literally for no reason. So she's
no reason?
None at all. None at all.
Okay.
So no reason. She just made a beacon like a satellite to send a signal down to the quantum realm. And what happened was MODOK found the signal and pulled them all into the quantum realm. So they pulled Ant-Man, Wasp, Cassie, Hank Pym, Michelle Pfeiffer, all of them. So they all sucked in. So it's kind of described over the movie, like during her days while she was trapped in the quantum realm, Janet encountered Kang. So he was an exiled traveler, claims that they can both escape from the realm if she can help him rebuild his multiversal power core. So he gets like, remember she got sucked into the quantum realm when she defused the bomb, like, and
Yeah, she got too small.
Yeah, she got too small, went below the, titanium, stuck.
Happens to the best of us.
It does.
Yep.
So she had been stuck down there, making her own life in the quantum realm, living her life. She had like a farm and everything. And so Kang just drops in like from the sky and crashes down in this like ball. It's like a little spaceship with one seat in it. And it's got this little power core that's like his engine for the ball, and it broke on impact. So
It's unfortunate.
So they're going over like different things, like how do they repair it? They finally get to figure out how to repair it. After they do that, Janet sees a version of Kang conquering and destroying entire timelines. So she touched the spaceship and just like went into a trance and saw everything that Kang did. So visions of what he, breaking timelines, killing everybody. So then Kang revealed that he was exiled by his own variants out of fear, which drives Janet to turn on him. So she's like, "Oh, you're a bad guy. Like I've been helping you fix this, and you're a bad dude." So she's obviously outmatched. She uses her, those little Pym particle things. They throw it, throw things at it, makes a car bigger or smaller. So she's got a couple of those and just chucked them at this power core and made it super big. So now he can't use it, and they're both stuck there. So she trapped him in the quantum realm. So in present day, after, yay, good for you, Janet, keeping Kang down there away from everybody else. So she took one for the team. That's right. We're giving it up there. All right. So she took one for the team and said, I'm just going to screw you over. If I'm not going to escape, neither are you, but you're not going to go hurt my kid. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Just the Dikembe Mutombo. So present day, after the Battle of Earth, Scott Lang became a successful memoirist and, like I was saying, living happily with his girlfriend, Hope. Teenage daughter Cassie became a political activist, resulting in spending some time in jail before being bailed out. So
this is good shit.
This all happens when
this is the first 15 minutes.
It's going down there. So they get sucked down there, like they're going to have like a family dinner. Sucks. There's nothing good.
Like the Olive Garden?
In the house, and then they get sucked in. So
all you can eat breadsticks.
As soon as they get sucked into the quantum realm, all the ants that were in the basement with them get sucked in with them. So it's like the main characters plus a ton of ants. So
they're going to need the ants, right? That's like,
of course they do. It's Ant-Man. Yeah. So they get split up when they get sucked into the quantum realm. So Scott and Cassie get separated from the other three. So from Hope, Hank, and Janet, sucked into two different tubes still in the quantum realm. So they're spending the whole first half of the movie trying to find each other. And Janet basically is like, I've got I know some things around here. And they start seeing creatures and spaceships. And Hank Pym's like, what the? Like, you didn't tell me there were intelligent beings in the quantum realm. So she's been lying to her husband the whole time by omission. So he's always asking these questions. She ain't giving him any answers.
Yeah, that's some big stuff, though. That's like an entire universe.
It is. It's like an entire universe.
And you lived with Kang for how long?
It's not disclosed, but it's insinuated that. It's insinuated that it's been a minute. So
pony holes.
Actually, she pony holed Bill Murray's character.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. So
she was there for a long time. She went from
there for 30 years.
Pfeiffer
she said
old for Pfeiffer, like Batman Pfeiffer to this Pfeiffer.
She's been down there for a lifetime. So, so she tells Hank and Hope, like, hey, I think I know some people that I can connect to, and maybe if they're down here, if Scott and Cassie are down here, they'll know where they are. So she goes to this, like, they're in this desert area, and this, like, group of nomads is starting to approach them, and they look hostile. And Janet's like, I got this, guys. Stay back. So they stay back, approach these, like, crazy nomads, and this dude, like, breaks out a knife. And they just start fighting, like, out of nowhere. And she takes the knife, stabs him, and he, like, keels over, pulls the knife out of him, and is like, hey, where you been? So they hug. And it's, I don't. Right. So a knife fight leads. Right. So they knew each other.
It's like in the Beat It video.
Yeah,
Pretty standard.
just like that. So
you know what to do, Producer Moo.
Yep. That was cool, huh? So they give him like some clothes to wear to blend in. They give him this little like looks like a stingray. It's just like flying through the air, and they're riding bareback on this thing through the desert. So they get to like this city. They pull up to a cantina, and they exactly, it's the cantina. So they're starting to hear all the alien voices, and I guess this like red dude that I was describing is green, like red goo, like
because they already drank translator.
I guess he's got this stuff on tap at the local bars because they ask for a shot of it, and she's just like, "Here, you guys drink this." They drink it, and then all of a sudden they hear in English, so everything's.
I mean, at least they kind of explain the language barrier thing, because a lot of movies don't do that.
Drink the Kool-Aid Man's red goo.
It's more believable than not telling me anything.
Right. So they do, and she's like, "Yeah, let me just call up a friend of mine," which turns out to be Bill Murray. He comes down. She's like, "I need help. Is there? We got split up. There's 2 other people we're looking for." And he's like, "Well, if you're here, he's gonna know they're here," referring to Kang and MODOK. So they're like, "Ah, crap!" So we got to go find them. They go off on their thing. Bill Murray's character is kind of useless after 2 minutes. It just turns out that he's just a douche. And
standard
fight ensues at the cantina. Everything goes to shit. They steal his spaceship and just take off. So while they're there, Hope and Cassie are like, they got picked up by the freedom fighters, like the rebels. And that's where they meet the red goo dude. And like when they get there, they're all speaking a different language. He's like, "I don't know what you're saying." And he turns around, and like Cassie's got this red goo all over her face, and she's like, "Drink the goo." Just like that. It's really creepy. So red dude squirts his red goo in his mouth, and he hears everything. So yeah, it's ridiculous. So
I've seen this on the internet.
Yeah.
So, have you found this?
No, I've seen this though before this movie came out.
So you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, the red goo. Yeah. So this little red goo guy, the Kool-Aid Man, is just like fascinated by these humans that fell in from the sky, right? And he's like, "How many holes do you guys have?" And he's like, what do you mean holes? Like, how? I don't have holes. How many holes do you have? Like his mouth and eyes are inside of like his abdomen. So it's weird. So
the goo guys holes?
Well, the goo guys. So he doesn't have any holes. So no holes. Nothing.
But
no pony holes?
No pony holes.
Make sound vibrations to make noise with no holes.
Great question, and that's why this movie is trash. So so they're just going about their business, he's like fascinated by these humans, and the telepath is like, "Here's how many holes he has," and he's like, "I wish I had holes." And that's just like his whole trope in the movie. Like he just wants holes. So
he's goo. He can just like make a donut.
Kind of, but that's later in the movie. So
wait, so this is a real thing you're talking about? Like the whole story?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not making that up.
Think about it. If you're like gooey with no holes, you might find
it was just like a red blob with arms and legs, and they kind of flailed around. But I don't know. His mouth was like in his stomach. It made no sense. I can't explain it. So they're all kind of freaked out. Then the freedom fighters are like, MODOK's coming. So he just comes zooming in with his tiny little baby legs and his little baby butt on his little MODOK mobile, and he comes in. He's got guns blazing, blowing everything up, and so they get captured, do the whole thing. They meet Kang. They basically get thrown in jail, and he's just basically saying, "If you do what I want, I will let you out." And what he wants is for Scott Lang to jump into his big orb thing that Michelle Pfeiffer engorged, his little engine thing. Yeah, his multiversal engine thing. So he's like, "I need you to go in there, and I need you to shrink it back down so I can put it in my spaceship and GTFO. And if you do that, I'll let you out of the quantum realm." So throughout the course of this, Kang starts torturing Cassie, and Scott's like, "Fine, I'll do it, whatever." So goes up to it, and he's like, "Okay, well, what am I looking at?" It's this big, huge sphere, like Epcot ball, but bigger. And it's got like a core in the middle of it. And the core is what he needs to shrink down. So they basically tell him, MODOK and Kang tell Ant-Man, like, you're going to see some shit when you go in there. It's going to get weird. So he's like, define weird. You'll know when you're there. So he jumps in, just diving into this giant ball.
Inside though, didn't Pfeiffer?
Right, but that was when it was like the size of a baseball. It's like the size of buildings now, so he can't
she made it that big. So why didn't they just slap on one of the little?
Because you have to do it from inside the core. That's the movie, John. I don't know what to tell you. It's dumb, which is why. Right. You're asking all the right questions.
No,
it's like
we want you to tell us now.
You slap one of those onto the stupid police car, and it makes everything inside the police car small, like it does to Scott's organs. But you do it on the outside of Scott, it makes everything inside of him big.
You figured it out. So here's one of many plot holes, right? You can't just do it from the outside. So he's got to go into the middle of the apple core.
First place, this is like smaller than subatomic. Like, They could have just stayed big and not dealt with it.
Mm-hmm. So that's the movie, though. So he's jumping into this thing. He's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and he keeps shrinking himself with his little shrinky button until he gets to the core. And then he starts splitting up and multiplying. And he's like, what's going on here? And he's like, Darren, what's going on? Darren Cross, who was MODOK, and no answer on the radio. Like, he can't hear anything. He's like, Darren, why am I seeing multiples of myself? Crickets. And he's like, MODOK, yeah? So he answers to MODOK, and he's like, what's going on? Well, why didn't you just ask? So, dumb. So he tells him they're called possibilities. So he starts multiplying into different possibilities of himself. So all the different Ant-Mans in the quantum realm, in the multiverse, start popping up, and they're all possibilities of what can happen. And it's become thousands and thousands of them. And he's trying to reach up and climb up to this orb, and they're all fighting over it because they each individually think that they are the real Ant-Man. So he's like, I'm the real one. No, I'm the real one. You split out of me. No, you split out of me. It's, who's on first?
Technically, I'll be the real one.
Technically correct, yeah. So the Scott that we know decides, I'm going to use my Ant-Man powers. So he starts doing the little ear thing where it's like chirp, 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 and he starts to control all the Ant-Mans to make like a big cone to lift him up to the core and grab it. And just as he does that, Wasp comes flying in. They found him, and she helps him get it. She flies him with her little wasp wings up there, and they get the core, shrink it down, and bring it back to Kang. Well, obviously, Kang was not telling the truth about what he would do for them. So he got what he wanted. He got his, and now they're going to fight. So now we've got a quantum war going, and it is just so dumb because you have these.
How far in the movie are we at this point?
Oh, you're well over halfway. You're in the last third of the movie.
Okay,
we've done nothing. That's the point. We've shrunk down, multiplied, and got a core, other than being separated.
And we're battling the boss.
What's that?
And you're battling the boss.
And you're battling Kang's army, and it's like the freedom fighters show up, and war ensues. The little red guy goes out, guns blaze, and he's like, "For the puppies!" And he's like, just goes, running into fire, and he gets a bunch of holes blown in him from bullets, and he's like.
Did he die?
He looks down and he's like, I have holes. And then he goes into beast mode and he starts playing Kirby. He literally starts sucking things up and absorbing them like Kirby does. So not explained how or why he can do that. I
understand the physiology of this guy more.
Jelly. Think about jelly.
No, I understand that part. I need to understand how this jelly works. It's very multifaceted.
It is.
Like
Kirby. He starts going Kirby on everybody. Kang sends the whole army after him. The freedom fighters are like, this is our quantum realm. You got sent here from the outside. We were here before you. We're taking back our land. So Ant-Man and Cassie decide to start a revolution. They start fighting. Ant-Man turns into Giant Man, and he starts kicking buildings down like straight up King Kong. Just King Kong's his way through this city, and he's like, Kang! Like, he's just yelling because Kang's being a little bee and staying in his little castle. And so he's kicking down buildings, and he's like, we had a deal! And he's punching buildings down, and he's just like, he's super pissed because Kang backed out of his deal. So finally,
Upset Paul Rudd sounds funny.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm not even. I'm not embellishing when I say he's like, "Kang, we had a deal." That's literally what he said as he's smashing buildings. So he keeps saying that over and over. He's like, "Kang, we had a deal." He's just punching, knocking buildings over.
Mind range.
Yeah, it's genocide. So this is all happening while Cassie is fighting MODOK. Now, Kang says, "Go kill Cassie. I'll take care of Ant-Man." So now we're going to flip to what Cassie's doing. They're battling, doing this whole thing, and MODOK is kind of kicking her ass a little bit. And she's like, well, no time like the present. So she turns into a giant like her dad does now. So now you have two King Kongs just punching buildings down, and she just beats MODOK's ass because she's... So she just starts pounding on MODOK, and he's just getting his ass kicked. And she's basically like, stay down. And he's like, no, I can take you. And she's like, stay down. So he's just like, laying there. And they start talking. And she's like, why are you such a dick? He's like, that's all I know how to be. You guys sent me down here. And look at me now. I've got little baby legs and a giant DK mode head. So she's just like, I'm just going to let you live. Stop being such a dick. So that's literally it. She walks away from him. So they start fighting Kang, doing this whole thing. Kang is way too strong, even though he's this big compared to, Paul Rudd, who's King Kong. So there was a moment where Ant-Man grabs him and starts just smashing him against a wall like a little puppet in his hand. And then Kang's like busting out of it. It's a bad fight. It's just awful. CGI was just atrocious. You could see that they were on a soundstage. Like, it was just so bad. So they fight. They go back and forth, and they are ready to go at this point. Like, Kang has been defeated. The way he's defeated is Hank Pym walks into this fight like a G, calls in his ant army, and they just swarm him, literally pick him up and take him away. That's it.
Oh,
So
that's the callback. They're setting that up in the
right.
Yeah.
Right. So the ants carry Kang away, and just he's just gone. So now that they have his core, they can create a warp, like a wormhole, to go back into reality, back to current day San Francisco. So as they do that, the little warp turns on. They start going through it. They shove Hank Pym, they shove Janet through, they shove Cassie through, and Hope goes in. And then they're all on the other side, and they're like, where's Scott? So Kang defeated the ants and is now fighting 1v1 versus Ant-Man at this point. So they're both punching each other, just beating the crap out of each other. Everybody else is already through the warp thing and the wormhole. And Kang is just whipping his ass. And he starts to make a run for the little warp, like, I'm going to get out of here. And then Hope comes in, right back through from the top rope, takes him out. And she's like, okay, let's fight him together. So they start doing it, and the only thing that they could figure out, like, what to do is to shove him, to take one of those little Pym particle things and throw him into the core, like get him sucked into it also. So they do that. He's sucked in. The fight is over, but the warp thing is gone. So now they're stuck in the quantum realm for all of 5 seconds before Cassie finds a way on the other side to magically open a warp right to where they are and pull them back in. That is the movie. I just described a 2-hour movie in 15, 20 minutes. So
I'm up on my Marvel lore, but isn't Kang the Conqueror supposed to be like one of the strongest?
They did,
or like Marvel villains.
Yeah. They had a
King, not like any of these other kings that exist in the universe.
They had an Avengers level threat in an Ant-Man movie, and that's how they dealt with it.
As of right, because I imagine
isn't there more Kangs though?
There is, but King the Conqueror specifically is.
That's why he was
exiled.
That one. Yeah, so the rest of the Kangs exiled that one because he's a dick. So the movie ends, all is well. He's back to just being Ant-Man, like nothing ever happened. So the post-credit scene is it's basically an arena of Kangs, and there's like 3 like leader Kangs that are like, the one that was exiled has been defeated, and it wasn't us, it was some Ant-Man, blah blah blah. He's like, well, we know he's not gone for real, he just got sucked into this thing, so we need to call the rest of the kings. And he's like, well, which ones? And they're like, all of them. And it pans to this like arena with like thousands of kings going rabble rabble rabble, and that's the post-credit scene.
He probably just inceptioned it, and he's like in the quantum realm.
Yeah. And then the second post-credit scene is basically a preview for the next season of Loki. But
oh no,
the movie was just poorly acted. It was poorly directed.
Oh wait.
Go back. Rewind.
Preview.
Say what you said again.
What? Yeah. We lost your preview.
Okay. So the second end credit scene was just a preview for season 2 of Loki. That's it. It shows them in like an old timey saloon with, it's like what's his name? It's Loki and
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson's character. Yeah. And it's them, and they're like in an old timey saloon, and it's got this sign. It's like, see the talented Mr. Timely or something like that. It was Mr. Timely, and they pan over, and it's Kang on stage wearing like a bowler hat. So take that for what you will.
It was Marty McFly in his knee case.
Probably. Yeah. But the reason that this movie was so bad, though, is it forced the comedy. Like, it forced it. Like, they really punched it home. Like, they were trying everything they could to make comedy in every line when it didn't need it.
That's because they tried to do a serious movie with Ant-Man.
Right.
It's like their comedic
exactly. Character. Right. So the direction was bad. Directing was just all over the place.
But this wasn't even like a heist movie either, was it?
No.
Because like the last 2 Ant-Mans were like heist movies.
Yeah. This had nothing to do with that. So they just vomited a bunch of color on the screen and called it a day, basically. Acting was bad. If you want to say somebody did good, you can really try and make an argument for Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors being the ones that carried the movie. But even that,
everything
at that point,
I've seen of Jonathan Majors seems awesome.
Yeah, he's a good actor. This was a bad movie, though. The pacing was awful. It felt like a 2-hour-long post-credit scene. That's really what it felt
Loki
like.
Good?
It didn't do anything. Like, it didn't. They just showed the beginning of season 2 of Loki. That's.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
The whole movie kind of didn't give anything to the MCU. That's the point.
I want to see Loki hook up with
other Loki.
Yeah, with Lady
Sylvie.
Loki. Yeah, Sylvie. It's like my dream.
They kind of do that. I think it's implied.
They got there, but I want to see them really get there.
Yeah, you want to watch it on screen?
You want to see the red goo?
You want to see that red goo? Yeah. No, it's the movie. Like, I left the movie theater and
what's kind of sad face?
I felt like I got robbed. I don't know. It didn't offer anything to progress the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, did you do matinee or did you go at like nighttime? Because you probably did get robbed.
I went right after work, so.
Sad.
Yeah, so not good. It just, yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
So when I walked out of the movie theater, I actually did that. I looked at Nicole, my wife, and I said that was like a 2.6 out of 10. Like we need
our own proprietary rating system.
We do.
We should be the Rotten Potatoes, and you have 100% certified Rotten Potato, and
potato,
or the green
French
potatoes.
Fry.
Yeah, French fry,
or McDonald's French fry. Yeah, it's definitely not the McDonald's French fry. This was a sad, soggy In-N-Out fry that had no salt.
In-N-Out fry.
Yeah.
Okay. There's our rating system.
It had like nothing but peel on it.
Yeah. It was one of those, sometimes you get one that's got a little bit of crunch on it. It's nice and fluffy inside. No, it was one of the ones that you can kind of just dangle around. It's a little bit soggy, no seasoning on it. You bite into it and it's a little bit cold in the middle. And yeah, it's just, and you just feel like you wasted energy eating this French fry. Like, you could have been doing literally anything else and you would have been satisfied with it, but...
All right, rated 1 tray of In-N-Out French fries.
Soggy In-N-Out.
Soggy,
fries.
soggy, unseasoned.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
It's like a soggy soft taco.
yeah, that was a soft
yeah.
taco.
That was our rating system.
Yeah, it was a soft taco.
Yeah, that was a
The
soft taco. That was a soft taco with wilted lettuce on it.
Extra lettuce.
Extra wilted lettuce. Yeah,
No seasoned
Oh,
beef.
God.
that
Just
was
lettuce.
unseasoned beef and just. It was probably just a tortilla with lettuce in it that's been sitting out for a day and a half.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That makes me sad.
don't recommend.
Well, there you go,
Look-
people. You've heard it
look at this.
from the words of mouth.
We've grown from being champions of the little man. Your Lost Worlds of Jurassic Park, your Back to the Future 3s. Now, one of us at least doesn't like anything.
True.
It's just me. I'm just angry all the time now.
How times have changed.
It really is. There's a little bit of role reversal here because
I have a feeling I'm gonna like this movie. I like.
Do you
I like all that
trash?
thing. Yeah, I actually like all the stuff that people call trash. So
We got to come
Yeah.
back and I just want John to be like, I love that red goo guy.
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch the Red Goo guy. That's who you got to. That's the only
Hit me-
person that matters.
hit me up when it's on Disney Plus. As soon as it comes out there, I'll watch it.
Okay.
We'll do part 2 of this.
Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow up because I have a feeling I'm gonna like it, just like I like Avatar 1.
You know why you'll like it though?
Tell me.
Let me tell you. As a father, let me tell you.
As a father, I will listen.
It's because you run faster, jump higher, and frolic harder.
Bye.